Is the frequency in use? Victor Echo 6 Hotel Foxtrot with the Alberta Public Service Net. Taking early check-ins.
Victor Echo 6 Juliet Golf Bravo.
Okay, good evening, Jim. Victor Echo 6 at Juliet Golf Bravo.
Evening, Ryan. I'm going to be early out. I got a few things to do this evening, so I'll check when early 7:30.
Okay, no problem. You have a nice loud signal to my station. Thanks for checking. And good evening, Dawn. Victor Echo 6 Echo Sierra Alpha. And good evening to you as well. Further check-ins early for the Alberta Public Service Net.
Juliet Whiskey.
Victor Echo 6 Juliet Whiskey. Good evening. And thank you very much for checking, Neil. Any further check-ins early for the Alberta Public Service Net?
Victor Alpha 6 Romeo Victor.
Victor Alpha 6 Romeo Victor. Good evening, Bob.
Hey, good evening. I don't have anything for the net tonight. Thanks for the early out.
And nothing for the net is fine. A nice loud signal into my station. Further check-ins early for the Alberta Public Service Net.
Yeah, Cliff in there. Be 6 Charlie Fox, protocol 3.
Okay, let's listen up for Cliff. Go ahead. Okay, sounds great. I hear you, Cliff. We acknowledge no traffic and an early out. Thanks for checking. Further check-ins early for the Alberta Public Service Net.
Victor Echo 6 Uniform Lima. Victor Echo 6 Juliet.
We'll start off with Dieter, Victor Echo 6 Uniform Lima. Good evening.
Good evening. No traffic, and thank you.
And thank you very much for checking. Have a great evening. And Jim, Victor Echo 6 Juliet Hotel Kilo. Good evening.
Good evening. Where are you? And we're going to beat you a slide.
Okay, enjoy your time on a different frequency. Any further check-ins early for the Alberta Public Service Net?
Victor Alpha 6 Romeo Quebec.
Victor Alpha 6 Romeo Quebec. Good evening.
Yeah, very good evening. It's Bill at Ripstone. No traffic and in and out.
And I'll mark you down accordingly. Thanks for checking, Bill. Any further check-ins early for the Alberta Public Service Net?
Victor Echo 6 Golf Kilo.
Victor Echo 6 Golf Kilo. Good evening, Rick.
Good evening. No traffic from Calgary. Thanks.
And thank you for checking from Calgary. In the station ending in Bravo.
Victor Alpha 6 Romeo Bravo.
Okay, I got Blair in there. Victor Echo 5 Bravo Whiskey Sierra. Good evening.
Good evening to everyone this evening. Also, please check in Jerry, GT5 Juliet S November. Most no traffic. Thanks for the early out, over.
Sounds great. Thanks for the twofer. And there was another station that came in with Blair. Go ahead.
Victor Alpha 6 Romeo Lima Bravo.
Victor Alpha 6 Romeo Lima Bravo. Good evening, Richard.
Good evening to you and everyone else listening early. No traffic from Vermilion and in and out.
And thank you for checking from Vermilion. Have a great evening. Further check-ins early for the Alberta Public Service Net.
DE5 Kilo Charlie.
Good evening, Ken. Victor Echo 5 Kilo Charlie.
Yeah, good evening, Ryan. I guess we've got a good path, but I'm not hearing a lot of the other sixes. Band is up and down and a little noisy here tonight. No traffic. Have a good nap.
Yeah, surprisingly, everyone's coming in here strong so far. You're S7 into my station, so hopefully it lasts. Thanks for checking, Ken. And there was a station that came in at the same time as Ken. Go ahead. Well, good evening, Owen. Victor Echo 6 Alpha Lima Charlie.
Good evening, Owen. Hi, today. Thank you.
And thank you very much for checking. I think we have time for one more early check-in for the Alberta Public Service Net. Early check-ins for the Alberta Public Service Net.
Victor Echo 6 Hotel November.
Victor Echo 6 Hotel November. Good evening, Larry.
Good evening. Can I have an early out, please?
And you most certainly may. Thanks for checking. And with that, that's the appointed time. Good evening, everyone. This is Victor Echo 6 Hotel Foxtrot with the Alberta Public Service Net. This is a direct net and is organized for the public service and convenience of all radio amateurs and is part of the national traffic system. Single sideband and CW will be recognized. This net meets daily at 0130 UTC on or about 3700 kilohertz. All stations except CW, please zero beat this frequency. And CW stations, please position your carrier down approximately 800 hertz so we can receive a nice clear tone. Any station having emergency traffic while this net is in session will be recognized by giving a double break and then identifying themselves to net control. Your net control this evening is Victor Echo 6 Hotel Foxtrot. My name is Ryan, Romeo Yankee Alpha November, and I'm located 34 kilometers south of Camrose at Red Deer Lake near Farintosh, Alberta. And as we do every Thursday night, we are live streaming via YouTube. This can be found by a simple YouTube search of the Alberta Public Service Net, APSN, and today's date of May 2nd, 2024. Do we have any net bulletins or announcements this evening? Is there any word of sick or hospitalized amateurs or silent keys? Are there any mobile, portable, or QRP stations that wish to check the net this evening? Any mobile, portable, or QRP stations that wish to check the net this evening? Does anyone wish to list traffic or make a station call? And with that, we will move into the sections. Just a reminder, if you plan to leave early, let me know. And that way, if someone's looking for you later on, we know that you've already left. So being Thursday, we're going to start off at Red Deer to Calgary.
Victor Echo 6 Hotel Papa Yankee.
Good evening, John. Victor Echo 6 Hotel Papa Yankee.
Yeah, good evening, Ryan. No rain today and just a little bit north of the city of Red Deer, so maybe it's up tonight or tomorrow. But anyway, we measured about 6/10 of an inch of rain in the last couple of days, so no problem. Back to you.
Yeah, we got lots of snow up this direction. It's definitely welcome. We could use more, though, just to keep away those forest fires this year. Thanks for checking, John. Further check-ins, Red Deer to Calgary.
Victor Echo 6 Foxtrot Lima Hotel.
Victor Echo 6 Foxtrot Lima Hotel. Good evening, Dave.
Yeah, good evening, Ryan, and all aboard. Yeah, we had a little bit of shower there today, mostly drizzle. Not much. We could use some more. Other than that, I have no traffic from Empress over.
And thank you for checking from Empress. Have a great evening. Any further check-ins, Red Deer to Calgary? Any check-ins, Red Deer to Calgary? Any check-ins, Calgary area?
Victor Echo 6 Papa Radio.
Victor Echo 6 Papa Radio. Good evening, Doug.
Good evening, Ryan. No traffic.
And no traffic's just fine. Thanks for checking. Further check-ins, Calgary area.
Juliet Mike Bravo.
Good to hear you, Jim. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
Oh, we're going to keep it alive, that's for sure.
Yeah, no traffic here this evening from my location. Thank you.
And thank you very much for checking. I hope you're feeling better. Any further check-ins at Calgary area?
Victor Echo 6 Tango Whiskey Papa.
And good evening, Terry. Victor Echo 6 Tango Whiskey Papa.
Good evening, Ryan. No traffic from my station and a wet, cool Calgary.
Yeah, it's cool and wet up here as well. Thanks for checking, Terry. Any further check-ins, Calgary area?
Victor Echo 6 Lima Romeo.
Good evening, Lindsay. Victor Echo 6 Lima Romeo.
Yeah, real good evening, Ryan. Cure you. Have a very good night, and I'll be around.
Okay, thank you for checking, and thank you so much for the help later on as a relay. Appreciate it. Further check-ins, Calgary area. Last call for Calgary area before we move on. Okay, this is the Alberta Public Service Net. We're moving into southern Alberta.
E6 X-ray, X-ray.
And good evening, Brian. Victor Echo 6 X-ray, X-ray.
And a good evening to yourself. I need four-wheel drive and a winch to get in my driveway here. Holy smoke. Anyway, we got a little bit over an inch here for rain over the last couple of days, and everything is nice and soggy, and that's exactly what's needed for the agricultural community. I have no fuel for our net, and I'll be here for the duration visit.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks for checking in, Brian. And again, thanks for the help later on. Appreciate it. Further check-ins, Southern Alberta.
Victor Echo 6, Whiskey Golf Bravo.
Victor Echo 6, a Whiskey Golf Bravo. Good evening, Walter.
Good evening. Same deal, no traffic. We are kind of wet and about 3 above. So we'll just take what we can get. Have a good night.
Yeah, at this point, we'll take it as rain or snow. Thanks for checking, Walter. And there was a station underneath, Walter. Go ahead. Further check-in, Southern Alberta. Okay, we acknowledge Victor Echo 6 ARR and Victor 6 AYR, Bob and Antoinette with no traffic. Thanks for checking. Further check-in, Southern Alberta. Victor Alpha 6 Sierra Yankee Sierra. Good evening, Dave.
Good evening, Ryan. No traffic from my station in Lethbridge.
And thank you for checking from Lethbridge. And I think there was a station underneath, Dave. Go ahead. Victor Echo 6 Kilo Echo Echo. Good evening, Joel.
Good evening. Good to see you there on YouTube. Thanks for doing
And thank you for checking in and participating. Have a great night, Joel. Any further check-in, Southern Alberta.
Victor Alpha.
Okay, did I hear Victor Alpha 6 Alpha Romeo Whiskey?
Alpha Romeo India, VA6 ARI, Peter in Lethbridge. I got no traffic, and I need an early out, please, 73.
And 73 to you as well. I had a couple stations at the same time and just couldn't get the full call. Thanks, Peter. And there was a station ending, I believe, in Juliet, Quebec. Go ahead.
Yeah, Victor Echo 6 Juliet, Quebec. QRU from QSL.
QSL, Hines. Thank you, as always, for checking. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Further check-in, Southern Alberta.
Victor Alpha 6 Charlie Whiskey Mike.
Victor Alpha 6 at Charlie Whiskey Mike. Good evening, Clark.
Good evening, man. Yeah, no traffic from the hat.
And nothing from the hat is fine. Thanks for checking. Further check-in, Southern Alberta. Victor Echo 6 at Victor Alpha Lima. Good evening, Gordon.
Good evening. No traffic.
And I'll mark you down with no traffic. Thanks for checking. Further check-in, Southern Alberta. And good evening, Brad in the mobile station. Victor Echo 6 Bravo Mike Kilo. And we have you with QRU. Thanks for checking. Further check-in, Southern Alberta.
VE6 Alpha Romeo Sierra.
Wow, just about fell out of my chair. Good evening, Ross.
Yeah, hi there, Ryan. I can hardly hear you. I got about 10 over noise levels right now, but I'll be around later if I can hear anything.
Okay, appreciate it, Ross. Yeah, you're coming in here, S9, almost a full quality signal. Beautiful audio. Thanks for checking. Appreciate it, and I'll have you on the list for later. Further check-in, Southern Alberta. Last call for Southern Alberta before we move on. Okay, we'll flip the chair around and go north. Any check-ins in Northwest Alberta? Any check-ins Northwest Alberta? And how about Northeast Alberta?
Victor Echo 6 Zulu Oscar.
Victor Echo 6 Zulu Oscar. Good evening, Bob.
Good evening, Ryan. And no traffic in the Slave Lake.
And nothing from Slave Lake's fine. Thanks for checking. Further check-ins Northeast Alberta.
Victor Echo 6, Kilo Juliet.
Victor Echo 6, Kilo Juliet Alpha. Good evening, John.
Good evening, traffic Alexander Lake.
Okay, thanks for checking. Appreciate it. Further check-ins, Northeast Alberta.
Victor Echo 6, Charlie Tango.
Victor Echo 6, Charlie Tango. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Ryan, and all on board. QRU Foxtrot London this evening. Thank you.
And thank you for checking. Appreciate it, Carl. Any further check-ins, Northeast Alberta?
B6 Japan Yankee.
Well, good evening, Don.
Yeah, good evening. Just wanted to say that BE6ZO is Doug. You have him as Bob, and that would be VA.
Okay, I need to pay more attention to that. I have both of them on my list, and I just go for the first as ZO, so that's my fault. Sorry about that, Doug. And thanks for the clarification there, Don. Any further check-ins in Northeast Alberta?
Victor Echo 6, Bravo.
Victor Echo 6, Papa Foxtrot.
Okay, there was two stations in there. I believe the first one was Victor Echo 6 Bravo India Hotel.
Good evening, Ryan. No traffic from St. Paul. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for checking, Craig. Appreciate it. And I believe the other station was Victor Echo 6 Papa Foxtrot.
Roger that, Ryan. All's well out here. Karen's home. You can get her in as well. Victor Alpha 6 Kilo Mike Romeo. And can we have an early out, please?
And you most certainly may. Thanks for checking, Angel. Victor Echo 6 Papa Foxtrot and Victor Alpha 6 Kilo Mike Romeo. Karen with no traffic. Thanks for checking.
Roger.
Further check-ins, Northeast Alberta.
Victor Echo 6 Whiskey Oscar.
And good evening, Greg. Victor Echo 6 Whiskey Oscar.
Good evening, Ryan. Sorry, I called out of sequence. I missed the northwest side here. No traffic from the hamlet of Heights, and I'll be heading out here right away.
Okay, no problem. I'll mark you down as an early out, and feel free to check anytime. Any further check-ins in Northeast Alberta? Anyone in the northern section? Okay, this is Victor Echo 6 Hotel Foxtrot with the Alberta Public Service Net. We are also live streaming to YouTube this evening. We're moving into Edmonton. Do we have any check-ins, Edmonton area?
36 Oscar Bravo.
Good evening, Ian. Victor Echo 6 Oscar Bravo.
Evening, Ryan. And I think we'll take an early out if we may. No traffic.
And you most certainly may. Thanks for checking. Further check-ins, Edmonton area.
Victor Echo 6 Lima Whiskey Foxtrot.
And good evening, Len. Victor Echo 6 Lima Whiskey Foxtrot.
Good evening, Ryan, and everyone listening. I had no traffic from Strathcona County.
And thanks for checking from Strathcona County. Any further check-ins, Edmonton area? Last call for Edmonton area before we move on. Any check-ins, Edmonton to Red Deer?
Victor Alpha 6 in November, Juliet Kilo.
Victor Alpha 6 in November, Juliet Kilo. Good evening, Neil. Jim. Sorry, good evening, Jim.
Yeah, okay, that's better. Thanks, Brian. No traffic from Lloydminster. Thanks.
I have a whiteboard in front of me with probably about 300 names, so you have to forgive me if I get kerfuffled now and again. Thanks for checking, Jim. Appreciate it. Further check-ins, Edmonton to Red Deer.
Victor Alpha 6, Charlie Hotel, Kilo.
EE6 Delta Whiskey Delta.
Okay, we had two stations there. We'll take Chuck at Victor Alpha 6 at Charlie Hotel Kilo.
Well, good evening, Ryan. I hope all is well with you and everybody at home. I have no traffic tonight.
Okay, and I hope everything is well with you as well. Thanks for checking with no traffic. And Victor Echo 6 Delta Whiskey Delta. Good evening, Wayne.
Good evening, sir. I had to do a quick thing on my antenna here. I have no traffic. What is up? Thank you, sir.
And no problem. Thank you for checking. Appreciate it, Wayne. Any further check-ins, Edmonton to Red Deer?
Victor Echo 6 Juliet Romeo.
And good evening, Jim at Victor Echo 6 at Juliet Romeo.
Good evening to yourself, Ryan, and to all aboard. Good to hear you tonight. Good signal, by the way.
No traffic from Coronation. I should say wet Coronation, okay.
Well, at this point, a wet coronation is better than a dry coronation. Thanks for checking, Jim. Appreciate it.
Roger.
Any further check-ins? Edmonton to Red Deer.
Victor Echo 6, Florida Whiskey.
Victor Echo 6, Florida Whiskey. Good evening, Dale.
Evening, Ryan. No traffic from over here in Lloydminster. It's wet up here also. Let her rain, let her snow. We need the moisture.
Yeah, we sure do. Thanks for checking. Appreciate it, Dale. Any further check-ins? Edmonton to Red Deer.
Victor Echo 6, Mike Echo X-ray.
Good evening, Mike. Victor Echo 6, Mike Echo X-ray.
Good evening, Ryan. Everyone on the net. No traffic from Wainwright.
And nothing from Wainwright's just fine. Thanks for checking. Any further check-ins? Edmonton to Red Deer. Last call for Edmonton to Red Deer before we move on. Okay, do we have any check-ins? Red Deer area, central section, east and west?
The 6 Delta.
And good evening, Darcy. Victor Echo 6, Delta.
Yeah, good evening, Ryan. No traffic from my station. I'll be here till you're finished there.
And I thank you very much. Appreciate the help later on. Any further check-ins? Central section, Red Deer area, east and west. Okay, nothing heard. Did we miss anyone in Alberta? Any later missed stations for Alberta? Okay, nothing heard. We will now move into Saskatchewan. Any check-ins to Saskatchewan? Okay, I had a really late station in there. I hope I got this right. Victor Echo 5 Alpha Delta Bravo QSL.
Papa Delta Bravo.
Okay, Roger, we have the clarification there. Victor Echo 5 Papa Delta Bravo with no traffic. Thanks for checking. Further check-ins to Saskatchewan. Any relays? Do we have any Manitoba stations with us this evening? Okay, Victor Echo 4 Delta Romeo Charlie. Good evening, Dale. Thanks for checking with no traffic. Further check-ins, Manitoba. Any relays? Anyone later missed east of Alberta?
Victor Alpha 5 Yankee Oscar Yankee.
Victor Alpha 5 Yankee Oscar Yankee. Nice signal. Good evening.
Good evening, Ron. Everyone on that. Yeah, name here is Todd, Tango Oscar Delta, just out of Orange this weekend. Thanks for doing that. 7-3.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks for checking from Larange, and I have to compliment you on your signal. Nice and loud this evening. Thanks for checking, Todd. Any further check-ins at Saskatchewan?
Victor Echo 5, Victor Go.
And there's another nice signal. Good evening, Garth.
Good evening. I have no traffic for now.
And we'll mark you down with no traffic. Thanks for checking. Further check-in, Saskatchewan. Sorry, we were east of Alberta. Any check-ins east of Alberta? Okay, nothing heard. We will now go way up north and ask for check-ins Alaska, Yukon, Northwest Territories, or Nunavut. Any relays? Okay, we'll go south and ask for any check-ins from the United States of America. Any check-ins from the US of A this evening for the Alberta Public Service Net? Any relays?
November 7 Alpha Delta.
Okay, I believe that was November 7 Alpha Delta Papa.
Papa.
November 7 Alpha Golf Papa. Good evening.
Good evening, yes. 7 AGP, November 7 Alpha Golf Papa New Year's, no traffic.
And thank you very much for checking with the no traffic. Appreciate it as always. Further check-ins at US of A.
Whiskey 7 Delta Golf, Mike.
Whiskey 7 at Delta Golf. And Mike, good evening.
Good evening, Ryan. QRU here.
And QRU is just fine. Thanks for checking. Further check-ins at US of A. Any relays? And nothing heard. We'll now move into British Columbia. Do we have any check-ins at Vancouver Island? Do we have any check-ins at Lower Mainland, Fraser Valley, Sunshine Coast? Any check-ins at Southern Interior? Any check-ins at British Columbia?
You don't have uniform Romeo November in there, Ryan.
Okay, Victor Echo 7, Uniform Romeo November. Good evening. Can you pick him up, Ryan?
Thanks very much for that, Bruce. Good to hear you. And back to you, Ryan.
You had 7 hotels down in Quebec too.
Okay, Victor Echo 7, Hotel Delta, Quebec. Go ahead.
No traffic.
Okay, we have Victor Echo 7, Hotel Delta, Quebec with no traffic. Brian, if you don't mind, it seems like you're here in British Columbia. Can you give a call?
Oh, I can do it. I'll make one call. When Hotel Delta Quebec signed in, I didn't hear a whisper from them, and the URN was pretty light. We'll give it a try. We're calling Lower Mainland, Fraser Valley, Sunshine Coast. Brian, we're calling Lower Mainland, Fraser Valley.
We're calling a general call for British Columbia.
Say that again.
General call for British Columbia.
That's fine. V6XX for the Alberta Public Service Net. The net is looking for any stations we may have missed anywhere in the province of British Columbia. Any further later miss check-ins for the Alberta Public Service Net from the province of British Columbia? I don't hear anything, Ryan, V6XX.
Okay, sounds great. I'm just chatting with Jason through Slack. Sounds like he can hear me. So I'm going to pass this over to Jason, Victor Echo 7, Juliet Bravo, Quebec, to give a call. Maybe he'll have better luck.
No problem there, Ryan. We'll give it a shot. This is Victor Echo 7 and Juliet Bravo, Quebec relay for the Alberta Public Service Net. Looking for any stations in the province of British Columbia that would like to check in. Come now. Do you have any stations in British Columbia that would like to take check in to the Alberta Public Service Net? Come now. Victor Echo 7 Whiskey Juliet. Good evening there, Al. No traffic, just fine there, Al. Thanks for taking the time this evening. All right, still looking for stations later missed in the province of British Columbia for the Alberta Public Service Net. Come now. Last call for any stations in British Columbia for the Alberta Public Service Net. Come now. V6 Hotel Fox, just the one there, Ryan. Back to you, V7 JBQ.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks for that, Jason. You actually have a nice loud signal onto my station this evening. That is up and down, anywhere from an S1 to an S5, but beautiful audio. Thanks for doing that for us. Appreciate it. I guess we're just going to make a general call for British Columbia, and then we'll move on to a full general call. Any check-ins at British Columbia? Okay, nothing heard. Do we have any later missed check-ins, any direction, anywhere for the Alberta Public Service Net?
Juliet, Mexico.
Okay, we had a couple of stations in there. I believe the first one was Victor Echo 6, Kilo Juliet, Mexico. Good evening.
Good evening, Nolan. Just come out here to the radio room, look at the time, and figured, oh, maybe I'll see if I can still get into the Alberta Public Service. Kevin here in Alberta Beach. Nothing else to report. Back to that. 36 KJM.
Okay, sounds great. Well, we appreciate you stopping by. And there was some CW in there. Go ahead. Can I get some help with that CW, please?
QRU and QRT.
Okay, we acknowledge a Victor Echo 6, a Yankee X-Ray Hotel, QRU, and QRT. Thanks for checking. Okay, further check-ins, any direction, anywhere for the Alberta Public Service Net. Okay, we had a couple of stations in there. We'll start off with Victor Echo 5 and Mike United. Good evening.
Good evening. No traffic. Interesting band.
Yeah, it most certainly is, but we'll take it. At least we have some signals here. Any further check-ins, any direction, anywhere for the Alberta Public Service Net?
Victor Echo 5, India Victor.
Victor Echo 5, India Victor, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Nothing from Saskatoon.
And nothing from Saskatoon is just fine. Thanks for checking. And is there a Victor Echo 6, a Foxtrot India in there? Okay, any station unacknowledged? Okay, calling later missed, any direction, anywhere for the Alberta Public Service Net. Victor Alpha 6, a Romeo Oscar, a Delta. Good evening, Rod. Okay, sounds great. You're really light into my station this evening, but I did hear no traffic. Thanks for checking, Rod. Appreciate it as always. Any further check-ins, any direction, anywhere for the Alberta Public Service Net?
Victor Echo 6, Foxtrot, Italy.
There you are, Victor Echo 6, a Foxtrot, India. Good evening.
Yeah, Roger. Dennis here, Dennis.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you for checking, Dennis.
Charlie, V6BIC is also QRU, and VE6 Alpha Quebec is also QRU, okay?
Okay, thanks for the 3 check-ins. Appreciate it. And you guys have a great evening. Any further check-ins, any direction, anywhere for the Alberta Public Service Net? Okay, and nothing heard. Well, we're just going to pass this around to the relays to see if we can get a few more check-ins. We'll start off in the order of appearance with Lindsay and Victor Echo 6 at Lima Romeo. Move to Brian, Victor Echo 6 X-Ray X-Ray. Over to Ross, Victor Echo 6 Alpha Romeo Sierra. Then to Darcy, Victor Echo 6 Delta Delta Delta. Then to Jason, Victor Echo 7 Juliet Bravo Quebec, who can then pass it over to Dawn, Victor Echo 6 Juliet Yankee. And Dawn can pass it back to me. Thanks for your help, guys.
Okay, this is Victor Echo Lima Romeo. APSN, I'm looking for a station in any direction. Victor Alpha 6 Romeo, Cindy Ryder. Real good. Yeah, the band is nosedive here on us. Station, later miss any direction. Station for the APSN, call VE6 Lima Romeo. Victor Echo 6. Relay for the APSN.
I think he wanted the relay, so maybe Brian can contact him.
Well, Steve is white, but he's 2'5". B6 Sierra Charlie Lima. Any traffic?
That's fine. No traffic, fine, and I can barely hear you tonight.
No traffic.
Yeah, it's. I heard the relay station say no traffic. I thought you were probably hearing it, which is why I didn't respond.
Well, why don't you pick it up, Brian, and see how you can make out the 6LR.
Yeah, I find it interesting. I'm not. The conditions are such that I'm not hearing as much as I was last evening. That is odd. Yeah, B6XX for the Alberta Public Service Net. The net is looking for any final later missed check-ins, any direction, anywhere.
Correct. So 6 Sierra Charlie Lima, got you now.
Charlie Lima, that must have been Sierra Charlie Lima.
It was, he doubled with you.
Okay, V6 Sierra Charlie Lima, anything for us, Steve?
Anyway, have a good night, all.
What was your first clue that it's a terrible band? You actually came up a little bit. Made all the difference in the world. Thanks for the help, man. The Alberta Public Service Net is looking for any further check-ins, any direction, anywhere. Any further later missed check-ins for the Alberta Public Service Net, the 6XX relay? Nothing heard, V6ARS. It's all yours, Mr. Dahl, V6XX.
Well, thanks, Brian. This is the 6 Alpha Romeo. You're relaying to the APSN. Anybody made or missed anywhere? Anybody late or missed anywhere at all? Anybody anywhere? I have no luck. I think it goes to Darcy. Triple D, go ahead.
Thanks, Ross. This is Victor Echo 6 Delta relaying for the Alberta Public Service Network, looking for later missed check-ins, any direction. Anybody anywhere for the APSN, the 6 Triple D relay? I'm not sure if I'm hearing a late one there or not, but at any rate, I'm not going to be able to pull out anybody else, any direction for the APSN, the E6 Triple D relay. Well, nothing heard. The 6 Juliet Bravo, Quebec. Go ahead, Jason.
Over to you, Jason.
Go ahead, Jason.
Thanks a lot for that. We'll give it a try. This is Victor Echo 7 and Juliet Bravo, Quebec. Relay for the Alberta Public Service Net. Looking for later missed stations anywhere. Come now. Do we have any later missed stations that want to get checked into the Alberta Public Service Net from any location? Come now. Nothing heard. V6JY, up to you there, Don. V7JPQ.
All right, thanks, Jason. V6JY for the Alberta Net. Have we missed anyone anywhere? 5 Bravo India. Hey, there you are, Kent. V5 Bravo India. Good signal. Good evening, Ryan. You've got a good signal tonight as well. I hope you're not snowed in too much there. We just about 3 minutes of rain over here. That's all we have. Thanks, Kent. Yeah, Don, V6JY relaying here. Yeah, you're good. We've our snow all melted, so we had over about 36 millimeters of rain, so we're quite pleased with that. Thanks for checking.
It'll help. Bye-bye. Good evening.
Yeah, for sure. The farm just to the south of me here, he just got his planted just the day before, so talk about good timing. All right, anybody else anywhere for the Alberta net? Where's the sixth killer pop of the night? Ken, we've been missing you. Anybody anywhere for the Alberta net?
You doubled with somebody there, Don.
Yeah, B6 Echo Kilo Golf. I think that was you, Ed.
Yeah, it is. You're barely coming in here, but just trying to reach out here, so nothing for my station here, just west of Lethbridge.
All right, thanks for checking. I'm just west of Lethbridge. Yeah, conditions are not stellar tonight, to say the least. Anyone else anywhere for the Alberta net? Back to you, Ryan. Oh, the A6 Victor Alpha. Good evening, Kyle.
Good evening, Don. Rough conditions on 80 tonight, no traffic.
Yeah, well, you're coming in pretty good for the conditions. Thank you. Signal from the north, we're pretty sure tonight. Well, one more last call then. Anybody anywhere? I guess that's it finally, Ryan.
Okay, sounds great, Don, and thank you for your help there. And thanks to all the relays. One last call. Any direction, anywhere for the Alberta Public Service Net? This is your last chance at Victor Echo 6 Hotel Foxtrot with the Alberta Public Service Net. Looking for any station, anywhere. Having completed all business for this evening, I'd like to thank you all for your cooperation, your check-ins, and a special thanks to my relay stations for lending a helping hand. Tonight's relays were Victor Echo 6 Lima Romeo, Victor Echo 6 X-Ray X-Ray, Victor Echo 6 Alpha Romeo Sierra, Victor Echo 6 Delta Delta Delta, Victor Echo 7 Juliet Bravo Quebec, and of course Victor Echo 6 Juliet Yankee. The net will now close, and your net control station, Victor Echo 6 Hotel Foxtrot, will be clear of the Alberta Public Service Net, turning the frequency over to regular use. Have a good night, everyone, and 73.
73, I think they did pretty well considering, Brian.
Yeah, certainly. So the total tonight was 72 check-ins, 7-2.
That's pretty damn good considering the conditions we got. I wasn't hearing as much tonight as I was last night, and last night was not exactly, the best I've ever heard. God, I may have to do away with my Pro 2 and my Pro 3 and grab